We been hanging outside, ain't going in. Yeah.
We outside. Back at it again. Who am I outside with?
You're outside with Tiffany Tillman, CEO of Jaco's Life Coaching and Platinum Crown Management.
Tiffany, how's it going?
It's going good.
All right, so first question I like, pop this thing off with is, how is your mental health?
How is my mental health?
Mental health, how you living? How you feeling?
Everything has been good. I really can't complain a whole lot. I lost my grandmother in April. So my family and I, we're still in the healing stages. My grandmother was 91 years old. So, long life, but when you lose somebody you that close with.
Yeah.
So we're still healing, but, I think we're doing a good job of coming together, staying together as a family.
Hey,
So, I don't have any complaints. God is good.
God is good, For people that's, down, trying to figure things out, what kind of avenues and things do you do to keep yourself on the up and up,
So we cared for her from like November, because she came home on hospice in November. So really, honestly, what I had to start doing is stuff because I'm a life coach too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I already knew what I needed to start back doing. I started feeling a little anxious and stuff like that. So
Right.
I got back in the gym. I started back doing a light workout.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big fruit eater. And so I got back into trying like different fruits and stuff like that. So those were just some of the things I did during the time that she was sick.
Okay.
But just on a daily basis, like what I enjoy doing, like I really enjoy management. I enjoy like just looking up new projects and stuff like that. And then, of course, we got a documentary that's coming out. So
Okay,
I've been
big
working on
time.
that as well.
Big time. I seen this trailer, man.
Oh, you like the trailer?
It's amazing. We talked about it. It was amazing. I was like, okay, who shot that?
Shout out to Gary Watkins. Gary Watkins. And then we got Perry Clark directing.
Cause I do videos, so I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the videography side of it, like, okay, this shot, who shot this shot pretty good,
That's what everybody said looked good.
Yeah. So let's dive into Tiffany. If people don't know who you are, they don't know what you do.
Okay.
They kind of describe to the people what you do, what all type of things you get your hands on, and who you is.
All right. So, every day Tiffany is just, 9 to 5 Tiffany.
Right.
Regular Tiffany. I work as a career service advisor, so I help college students with their resumes and professional development, stuff like that. But what people who do know me, or what we'll probably talk most about today, is what I do as a manager.
Right.
As that's what you see in the trailer, is that I manage 3 artists
Mm-hmm.
here in the city of Macon. I also work very closely with the videographer, and then we also have our own DJ.
Okay.
Yep. And so that's pretty much, what the documentary is going to be about, discovering what it's like to be an indie artist in Macon. Some of the things that you guys go through, because I know you do music as well, right?
Come on now.
So just some of the things that they go through as an artist. And so I guess if I had to describe myself to somebody who didn't know me up front, I would just say manager, CEO,
big CEO,
entrepreneur. Yeah.
Come on now.
Macon native.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of things that you do, right? That's why I wanted you to like break it down, because that's a mouthful, right?
Right.
How do you manage like doing all these different things and still having a work-life balance?
Work-life balance. So with, of course with my job, that's every day, 9 to 5. So there's no alternative to that. I got to go there.
Come on now.
But with management, with my artists, most of that stuff is after hours.
Right.
Because I can sit at my desk and reach out to you.
Mm-hmm.
I can email, I can text. So I can pretty much do that from where I need, from wherever I'm at.
Right.
But with them, like, we have our days that I meet with my artists. And a lot of times we might meet at the club somewhere. We'll meet at a bar and just, we'll just get together and just talk, maybe have a couple of drinks. So that's pretty easy. Like, that don't really take out of my time.
Right.
What I felt like was the most time consuming, and I had to cut back on that, was when I was trying to like go to everything they might have going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I first started managing them, I would book them together.
Right.
Like, so if it was
So it could be one shot.
yeah,
You
it was
gotta
if
run
it was a
around.
showcase, all three of them was gonna be in it. You know, I was like, look, I signed y'all up for it. But then now we're like 3 years in. It's a little bit different now. You know,
Right.
their lives and their past and stuff are different. Different people may request a different artist. So I may
Right.
have somebody that requests Adrian, but they may not request Chris, and you know whatever. So I had to learn that I couldn't be at everything all the time, and that's
Right.
when it got time consuming. When I was trying to participate in everything they were doing, so
I mean,
then I had to
because
budget my schedule that way.
it's very important, you know what I'm saying, like to have a good work-life balance, right? Because you'll get caught up in you'll never find time for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's good. Like you kind of figure it out, and you trial and error. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What goes into like, okay, you manage 3 artists, right? It's people
And a
having a hard
and a
time
DJ.
managing one artist.
Yeah.
So, how is it? First of all, let's dive into, what was the process on picking who you wanted to be a part of your team, and what qualifications, was you looking for, and then you received from the artist?
That's a very good question. So I think the first thing you asked
You
me
can pull
was,
the mic
it
over.
may be challenging for somebody to have one artist, and I have 3. So, and I've said this before, luckily all 3 of my artists get along with each other,
Right.
and they really kind of knew each other already.
Put this
Come
close
in a
to-
little bit.
No, you can pull. You just pull
Okay.
it close to you like that. Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 of them knew each other already. So that worked out.
Right.
So that way when we have meetings, I didn't have to separate the meetings.
Mm-hmm.
All of us could meet at one time.
For sure.
With I think, what was your second question?
Like, how did you go into?
How did I go about picking who's going to
Right.
do what? So actually, they chose me.
Mm-hmm.
They chose me.
Okay.
So Chris, my first signed artist, MK23, I had an event, and we had artists to perform, local artists, and he asked me, like, hey, I need a manager. And I was like, I don't know anything about managing. I'm a life coach. I don't know anything about entertainment.
Right.
But when I thought about it, it's like coaching, consulting is pretty much the same thing, because we would sit down and like map out what his goals were.
Right.
What are the things he wanted to do as far as his music career. And then we just kind of went from there. And then I got started slowly reaching out to people, seeing like what shows he could do, because when he performed at my event, that was his first time performing live. So then I just started reaching out to people. Well, then GQ Smooth, I knew both of them because I was their career advisor at Miller Mott when they were in college.
Right.
And so he saw what I was doing for Chris, and so he chopped it up with me. He was like, hey, Miss T, can I work with you? I need a manager as well. That's how he came on. And then I had an open mic one day, and my third signed artist, 4am FNE, he came and performed, and he did a great job.
Right.
And so I talked with him, and we, discussed it. Chris and Q agreed, because Chris and Aid with 4am, they played basketball together.
Right.
So he was like, yeah, I know they call him Tip. It's like, I know Tip, he's cool, and he did a good job. And so it just went from there. I always try to stick with them like a month before we sign anything.
Right.
Give them a chance to see if they like me for real, to see if I like them for
like
real.
30-day trial.
Yeah, 30
You know what I'm
day
saying? Come on now.
exactly. That's a good way to put it. So, and then that worked out with Adrian, and then we just went from there.
Okay.
Yep. And then DJ Rowe came a little bit later, because, he was already DJing, but it's different when you got a team behind you to support you or whatever. And then we thought about it like it's dope to have our own DJ.
Right.
So whenever
So 2 artists, 1 DJ.
3 artists, 1 DJ.
Oh, you got okay,
And a
okay,
videographer.
Okay. Okay.
Shout out to Luminous Concept, Central.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's amazing though. You know what I'm saying? You know you gotta get the smoke sometimes. You're a manager, right?
Yeah.
What are some things that you would say, I need to work on this, because I'm knowing getting my feet wet in the game. What are some things you learned, like getting into it, that you kind of made mistakes in the beginning you had to learn over time?
So much stuff. Like, I felt like, oh God, I don't even know where to start at with that. Like,
Because we fail, you know what I'm saying? We fail in any business venture that we do.
yeah, and
It's trials and tribulations.
I'm transparent. I think for me, so I got to work on my patience, because I could be short patience. For example, if I book something with you or we discuss something for my artist, like I expect for that to happen.
Right.
Like I don't see why not if we done
Yeah.
talked about it. You know, if we got emails or whatever, I expect that to happen. Please don't come to me and like, oh yeah, hit me up. I'm gonna put you on this and da da da. Then I hit you up, I'll never hear from you. I hate that. Just don't even say that to me.
Don't even come.
Don't even come talk to me.
Yeah.
Cause I don't break my neck to go talk to nobody. That's a
Right.
known fact. So, and then I think for me, what I had to learn is that I just can't help everybody. You know, I simply thought like what I put out, I expected that to come back to me, and that doesn't happen. You know, when you working in entertainment.
Right.
So I feel like I failed in that area with sometimes discerning people's character or not listening to my first mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like that led me to I already, you know, halfway very mindful of people.
Right.
Nah, I really don't trust people.
Yeah,
Like for real, you know.
out here, man.
Yeah, like
It's
seriously,
cutthroat.
it take a lot. So, and my artists they know that too. So,
What did you learn, like, as far as, like, you probably booked a wrong venue dealing with the wrong promoter, or you paid somebody to do something, you lost money doing it, as far as, like, getting an artist a visual, and the visual didn't turn out? Like, what mistakes did you make financially, you know what I'm saying, dealing with these artists?
financially, and maybe that's been, you know, like I can't say me personally, I haven't put a whole lot of funding behind it.
Right.
You know, because at the end of the day, they still who they are, you know, and so we all have to work towards it. Let me see what I feel like I spent the most on, or
It could be an event. It didn't turn out how you wanted it to turn
so
out.
I had my own venue. Like when I first started managing, so from 2020 to 2022, I had my own venue,
Right.
Jaco's Life Coaching and Resource Center, which in the future I plan on finding me something else.
Right.
So that worked out for me because I could always do stuff at my building, period. But I feel like what I spent the most on in the beginning was just silly stuff. I remember like when me and Chris first started, like flyers and stuff like that.
Right.
Cause I go get them done professionally. That can add up.
Oh, yeah.
You get cover
you
art.
had, like, physical flyers to pass out?
So they'll send them to me electronically.
Okay.
It'll be digital, but you know I can go and print them if I want
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
But it was just like, you know, I spent money on flyers because I can't make them, and I'm just not gonna learn right now how to do it.
Right.
So I feel like that's something that probably if my artists learn how to do it, we can save money on like cover art and digital graphics and stuff like that.
Right.
Like dealing with certain I had a situation with a DJ that's supposed to come to an event that didn't come before we had got our own.
Right.
So, you know, shout out to AP. He came through. He knew somebody that came through. I think it was DJ Slim.
Shout out DJ Slim.
So, once again, just kind of like that, you know, me communicating with somebody and I'm thinking that we got it worked out. And then at the last minute, I'm having to work something else out. But financially, I can't really say, you know, that myself or them have spent a whole lot of money.
Right.
Yeah. So I just, like I said, mostly been just other little silly things that happen.
I mean, that's big time because, you know, managers, even when it come down to, like, spending a feature on an artist that are, like, a bigger artist.
Yeah.
Dropping the bag and trying to get that feature from that bigger artist, or, like, even getting visuals done and they never come out.
Have you ever done that, though? Have you paid for a feature yet with somebody?
Yeah, I paid for a couple features before.
Okay. See,
You know
we
what I'm
haven't
saying?
done that shit.
Yeah. But really, in my whole career, I paid for one feature.
Who was it with?
Shout out to Escovo.
Oh, okay, Esco.
Shout out to Escovo.
Okay,
You know what I'm
then.
saying?
How did
Only
the song
reason
come out?
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay.
I just posted it yesterday.
I think I seen that.
Yeah, we did 3 records, but
Yeah.
it was like I believe in his craft. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have they ticket or whatever, but I usually do an exchange, like for the verse for verse, or I might shoot a video for you never know, a exchange of
barter.
business. Yeah. So, but with that, I said, man, this guy gonna be somebody.
Yeah, he
You know
dope.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that I didn't mind paying. If you got the talent, and I don't mind, you know, spending money on whatever I need to get where I need to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that aspect, You saying you ain't spend the money? That's amazing.
So we recently, like Mike Shaw and I, we did the DJ battle last year. So it's been a year. We did 3 rounds of a DJ battle where we had DJs compete against each other, and
Right.
then other DJs were the judges. And in between the sets, we had artists performing.
Right.
So we recently just did the Mike on Fire Festival,
Right.
and I was telling you about that when you was at the
Yeah.
bonfire, because we wanted to do something for the artists that wasn't doing the official Brad Jam.
Come on now.
And I spent money on trophies, and Mike covered the cost of, because Ro had to work at Shay Duffy's spot,
Right.
and so we used DJ Scoob. So Mike covered the cost of that, and then I covered the price of the trophies. But still,
That wasn't that crazy.
it's worth it. Yeah, it was worth it. It was
Yeah.
worth it because I like seeing the people with the trophies. We got to have a
Yeah.
DJ, and other people actually came and helped out with just bringing like lights and stuff like that.
Right.
Other people I'm cool with, like Centrail. I think Fred brought some lights. Gary, I don't know if Gary had lights or not, but yeah.
Yeah, lights are very important.
Like I said, the bar, I know, because we didn't think about how dark it was going to get out there.
Like,
and see, that
look.
night I went, you had your own, you had these lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had them in my car because normally they had their own light set up, but something happened where they ain't bring them. But good thing I just always just have it in my car. Be like, I
Yeah.
just pull my eyes out. I ain't even think we're gonna light up that stage like that, but it
They
made
do
it
good,
Yeah,
yeah.
it did what it do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Managing 3 artists. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Like I'm trying to imagine managing 3 artists. How is it managing 3 different personalities? But also, are you familiar with their music at the same time?
I'm very familiar with their music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very familiar with their music. Like, it's certain songs that each one of them got that I can rap.
Right.
I'm very familiar with their music. And I know them very well. Like, I've learned their personalities because, once again, we've been working together 3 years.
Right.
So I've learned their personality and their genres of music. And I talk about that in the documentary. Chris is a trap artist.
Right.
Q is more of a, he got the hippie. He's more of a stoner. Adrian music is more conscientious. So I just, it comes to me now second nature.
Yeah.
It comes
That's
to me
3
second
different
nature.
spectrums now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
so I just, even though it's all 3 of them, if it's something going on, I reach out to them individually. If we're not meeting together, so if I just need to talk to Q, I just call Q.
Right.
And just say, well, hey, I got this coming up, or how you feel about this, or like we recently did like a small listening with him and Q, Nate, Ashley was there, and Gary. And you're going to probably see some of that in the documentary, but he just dropped the EP.
Right.
Or EP or mixtape. And he wanted us to come and listen to it. So I just came over there to the loft. We sat there and listened to all the songs 1 through 8. He gave us a brief description. So, for me, like I say, most of the stuff I do with them is after hours.
Right.
Anyway, so.
You making it sound easy.
I make it sound easy.
I talk to a lot of managers, man. It'd be a lot of smoke with these artists, and they be having one artist.
They be having one artist, and see, I can definitely relate to that because it hasn't been crystal stairs for me either.
Yeah.
I have 3, but it's been different people in between. And I'm not knocking nobody. It just didn't work out for me and them. For whatever reason. So I can definitely see how that can happen.
Yeah. How do your artists manage, like, because diving into, speaking with other management, sometimes management might buy their wardrobe. They might help buy studio time. They might buy the videos. Like, how involved are you as a manager in, like, the day-to-day as far as, like, they got an event coming, making sure they got the right stuff on, making sure that if they shoot a video, make sure they got the right look going. So how do you manage that? Do you help fund these things as a manager, or they pretty much handle their own?
They handle their own stuff like that. So I'm hands-on with the administrative part of it. I'm going to book everything for them.
Right.
I'm going to book the videographer or the studio time for the most part. I reach out to the engineer to say, hey, they want to come at this time.
Right.
When they're doing the treatment plans for their videos, I'm usually on the call with them.
Right.
So they do let me know what their ideal is so we can kind of discuss it together. But I don't really interfere with their creative flow.
Right.
So, because they have songs I don't like.
Right.
Some of them got songs. Well, all of them got music I don't particularly care for. Like it just might be a song I don't like.
It come with the territory.
Yeah, and cause I feel like artists think every song they make sound good.
Come on, man.
Do y'all
like,
really think that?
No, I don't. I know when it's like, because sometimes I might troll. So
Yeah.
They might want to try something new and just troll. You know what I'm saying? With So you just gotta know what it is though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I feel with my artists, I feel like they think every song they make sound good.
I'm gonna tell you like this though. I've learned there's no such thing as a bad song. No, why? Because
Why? Please tell me
the
why.
one that you think that ain't nothing,
Somebody else could like.
it might be the one that
Might be the one.
Oh my goodness! Like if you talk to any artist
Yeah.
that got popular off a song, they don't even like that song that they got popular off. They
Yeah.
like another song.
It just happened.
It just happened. You know what I'm saying? So I learned not to judge people's music
Yeah.
as much as I used to. I'd be like trash, but now I can't do that because like dang, I mean I don't know because maybe that might go. For him.
Might be the one. So yeah, they all have music that so I don't interfere with their creative flow. And then as far as like their wardrobe, like what they're gonna wear to a video or performance, that's completely up to them.
Okay.
So I just for the first time executive produced a song and then semi directed, the video
Okay.
with Blackmail and 4M FNE.
Okay.
And then I did the treatment plan for that.
Mm.
So all three of us came together, and came up with the concept.
Right.
But I definitely talked with them about like because they did 3 different looks, and so we talked about that.
If you had to say like some things that you learned as a manager for up and coming managers that want to do what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give them 3 things that you learned that you have to know to be a great manager.
I'm scared because I still feel like I'm so new to it, and I made mistakes too. I guess my number one point would be you and your artist will have to know each other and trust each other. I would say that. And I don't want to sound cliche, but that's just the truth of the matter, is that you cannot work with somebody if they don't trust you to make decisions.
Right.
So if I'm your manager and I'm talking with somebody and you behind the scene don't trust me, we don't need to work together.
That's
Period.
big.
And I'm the type of person where I'm not begging nobody to work with me because I don't care, for one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
2,000 artists, but I'm not begging anybody to work with me. But I have to trust you too.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can say about the 3 artists that I work with now is that those 3 artists are loyal to me, each other, and Platinum Crown Management. So I shouldn't hear about you out somewhere talking about PCM or talking about another artist, talking about, oh, his music ain't this, his music ain't that.
Right.
I can't deal with you after that. I don't have anything else for you, because even if I feel some type of way, I'm never going to be out in public talking about you, nor will I let anybody else talk about you.
It ain't loyalty, man.
There's no loyalty in it, and it's a lot of
Like-
people that, I had to learn the hard way that, they'll kick it like they solid, but they're really not,
Yeah.
So that would be my number one to any manager, like, work with artists that that's going to have your back when you're not in the room. And that's what Q said about me. Like, I know when I'm not in the room, Miss T got my back.
Right.
So I think that's more important to me than anything else. And then 2, make sure you have a clear understanding of what each artist want to do.
Right.
4M FNE, he's not really big on going mainstream. If he go mainstream, great. But when I first met with him, his goal was to be more underground. So you need to know your artist, so you're not pushing them to do something that they don't want to do.
Right.
Know what their goals are. And then just let them be themselves. I never wanted to change them, their music, their style, anything like that, because I don't want them to be unhappy.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we still, I feel like, learning a lot of stuff. So those would be my main 3 things.
Yeah. Look, man, you learn something every day. And don't be afraid about who you learn something from.
No.
Because people might look at somebody like, can't learn it. You can learn something from anybody that walk past you. Whether it's learning what not to do or learning what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that, you know what I'm saying, just going through life. You know what I'm saying? It's common sense.
Yeah. That's very true. We definitely, we rock with a couple people in the city that I feel like we've learned stuff from, that I can call up and ask some questions to or whatever.
Right.
Because I know I don't know everything about management, and nor do I pretend to. Because right now, it's more of a hobby for me, but it's one that I enjoy doing.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Everything's a hobby until it becomes
right.
massive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This a hobby until it come massive. Now it's my job for it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm asking you this though, what is it gonna take for your artist to get to the next level, and what are you doing to get them to the next level? You know what I'm saying? Because every artist won't, like you say, one of your artists don't want to be mainstream, but he want a substantial amount of fans to sustain him through his life to where I can just rap now. You know what I'm saying? So what is it gonna take for your artist to get to the next level, and how you gonna help him do that?
Every time I get asked this question, I have a different answer because I get asked in different points of their career.
Okay.
I think at first what I felt like they needed to do more of was social media. And I still think that, Q, I think if I had to pick one of them that does the best on social media, is going to be GQ Smooth.
Right.
Because he do different looks on there. He posts a little bit more. So I really think, though, all of them going to have to get heavy on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Get
TikTok.
heavy on Instagram. Get heavy on Facebook. Posting in their stories. Every now and then dropping a freestyle in your story. Dropping some type of content on TikTok. All of them need to work on doing that a little bit more.
Yeah, it don't hurt now.
Yeah, all of them going to have to just take the time and build up content, And you can get content from anywhere. It doesn't have to be professionally done. You can sit in your car and do something.
Yup. Content is a king. People don't know. I try to post a piece of content every day on all 3 platforms.
You do good with your platform.
You know what I'm saying?
Good.
People don't even know. It take time to sit there and do that, but it's worth it at the end of the day. Even when people watching, if they not watching, it gonna catch on. So you might be more popular on one platform than you is on the other one. You gotta learn how to balance them out. You know what I'm saying? So it don't hurt to do content.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna have to do. I think I'm still leaning towards social media. Now I may could talk to a mentor or something, and they say, well, no, they need to probably do this or do that. But I'm still gonna lean towards social media right now, cause that's the one thing about that. It's free.
Yeah, man.
That's free. That's easy. So that's something you don't have to spend money for. Your social media marketing.
Yeah.
And then I would like for each one of them to learn how to do something that could benefit their career.
Right.
Make T-shirts, make flyers.
Come on now.
Engineering.
Come on.
Something where you can learn that you don't have to pay somebody else to do it. Get merchandise. We need merchandise,
You said something very important. Learn something so you don't have to pay nobody else.
So you have to pay somebody else to do it. If you learn it, then that's money you keep in your pocket.
Like that. Hey, listen, man. People don't understand what she just said. Learn something so you don't have to pay nobody else. There's nothing wrong paying somebody for a skill that they have that other people might not have the skill, right? But if you learn that same skill and you master it, you could be a master of all. You'll be great. I do this because I learned to do this, so I don't have to pay nobody else to do it.
Right.
I learned to engineer. I learned to record myself. I learned to edit videos. I learned to make shirts. I learned to do a lot of things because I'd rather just pay the money on the equipment than pay the person. Because if I learn how to do it, I don't have to wait on their time. I can produce it at any time I want to.
Right.
I can move how I want to move. So that is a great statement.
Challenge yourself. Somebody said something to me one day, and she told me I didn't have a skill set to do something.
Right.
Yeah, she was like, you don't have a skill set to edit your videos or something like that. Never should have told me that. I'm
out of here now.
Yeah.
That's big, man.
I'm not that person to challenge like that. No, for real.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I've been working real close with Gary, just watching him edit the documentary.
Right.
Hopefully Santrell and I'll be able to spend a little bit more time together. Because he's filming a movie right now.
Right.
So I'm hoping that him and I'll be able to kind of sit down and go over some things or whatever. So and that's what led me to work to do the song with Blackmail and Adrian. And Hitman showed me how to, add in some sound effects.
So you learning, so you don't have to pay nobody else.
Exactly. And you never will be able to tell me what I don't have the skill set to do ever.
Hey, you can't.
So,
why I encourage people to tell me if my song trash, just tell me. I just go make another one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send that one to you, and we're gonna keep doing it until you tell me, okay, that one good.
And that's my number one tip to artists is be coachable.
Yeah.
Like take that feedback. Don't get in your feelings about it. Take constructive criticism, because like you said, it might not sound good to me, but somebody else may hear it. Or we make it add something more to it.
Yep. So
don't take it no type of way. Just take it as, well, you know what, maybe it's not gonna hurt to, change this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So because I honestly I feel like the 1 or 2 sound effects that I did add to the song.
Nah, don't even say it. You better say it, take it to the moon.
Listen, but I'm not gonna be like y'all, how y'all artists be.
Okay, I'll let you have
I'm just gonna say I feel like it improved it a little bit.
Okay,
I'm gonna say I feel like it improved it a little bit.
Hey, every little piece of help they'll get to you.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that's what I'm saying. That's my story.
Lord, man. All right, so do you feel like the people are supporting your artist the way your artist should be supported, or you think your artist should work hard enough to get the support they need?
I feel like nobody in Macon support local artists like they should.
Oh, that's a fact. Let's say Ronald Robbins too. Let's throw that in there too. I'm from Ronald Robbins.
I feel like you don't get support as an artist until, and that goes back to your other question that I kind of thought about. You asked, well, what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
I want to connect them more with just people out of town, because I feel like, after so long, you can only do so much in your own city, because your city is only going to allow you to get so far.
That's big.
Because to them, you still just that person that they know.
Right.
So most people don't even blow up in their own city. So I don't feel like anybody, I think we, those of us that do try to support, we get burned out too.
Yeah.
We get burned out because we'll get misled by artists or get mistreated. So that kind of turn you off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll just get to the point like, how many events can I attend? How much can I really do?
Right.
So we'll get burned out. I feel like I feel like the support could be better here in the city, and I like it's people that have made promises to me, because I'm straightforward when it comes to management, and I'm business only. But if you promise me something like I want to donate towards your artist, so we have people here in the city that could do more for like people that's doing music and doing movies or whatever, and they don't. And I'm talking about on a different level.
Right.
I think that now, yes, I put some responsibility in their hands too. Yes, it's up to my artists to, like I just said, what type of merchandise do anybody have? Do you have your own merchandise? Not just my artists, but everybody.
Anybody, yeah.
Yeah, what type of merchandise do you have? Like how can I find you outside of going to your Facebook page?
Yeah.
So it's stuff that they have to do. It's not gonna fall in your lap. You can't just depend on your manager to do it. Like you have to put in just as much work.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like, it's like you will start off kind of thinking like, okay, this should be easy. But once I really started doing it, I was like, okay, this is not, because I'm used to being successful. Like, this is not as easy as I thought it was. Because like I say, in the city, people will just be like, oh yeah, I'm coming to the show.
Oh yeah, that's,
I'm gonna buy a ticket.
Never. It's hard to get people in one building,
right,
that you even know.
So what do they do? What do they do? I don't have the answers to that.
I done been through that struggle so many times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll give them about a week or two ahead now. You know what I'm saying?
Don't share the videos.
Yeah, come on now.
So I think for me, that's what led me to do the documentary, because I didn't want to just do another video.
Right.
I'm thinking about something that we could put on mainstream, because the goal is, so we're actually, the Atlanta Black Theater Festival is going to be here in Macon.
So we ain't dived into it yet.
You ain't read it? Okay.
We ain't dived into it. I was warming up.
Okay.
But since you wanted to, dive into it, let's talk about the documentary, right? What was the mindset behind creating it? Let me say it one more. I said the words so wrong. All right. What was the mindset of you creating this documentary, and like why you wanted to do that? Like what made let me not say it wrong, PCM create this documentary?
So yeah, I just what made me want to do my artist of documentary because I wanted something like what makes them different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would make them stand out from any other artists in the city. So I wanted something where I had watched the Kanye West documentary and I love the look of it.
Right.
I feel like I learned a little bit more about him. I used to be a fan of his. I'm not now, but I still was able to respect, where he came from, the artistry. I watched like the series BET was doing where we was able to see like Master P backstory from when he first started No Limit. So I was like, man, this would be nice to let's show it on a local level. Because these are artists that we're seeing that's already like big, huge.
Right.
Let's see them from the very beginning. Let's see it when it's only 2 people that come to your show. Like let's showcase that because it's a lot of people that's gonna be able to connect to that.
Right.
But you never really see that from people. You don't see that until they get big. Artists don't really show you they struggle in the beginning.
That's crazy.
So I thought that would be unique to kind of like display just a little bit of that. Because I just didn't want another video. I didn't want another music video. Everybody got a music video.
Dang.
But everybody don't have a documentary.
That's powerful, man. Oh my God. That's so like okay, that made total sense to me. Like, that's crazy. I want to steal your idea now. Thank you.
Yep.
Nah, that just really and truly that just touched me though. You know what I'm saying? So like that's gonna be
We
big
can do it for you. My production team and I will do it for you.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
We'll come out and come get like see in the documentary it's gonna be raw footage too. So all of it's not with a camera. Some of it's with a cell phone. So you're gonna see like when I first was recording them, like in 2020.
No, in 2020. So we took it back to 2020.
Yeah, you're gonna see clips when I first started working with them.
So that's when the Yay Doc dropped. So you was like, let me hold up. Something sparked in your brain. That's crazy.
Yep.
Man, you a smart lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really think this is gonna be big for them. You know what I'm saying? Even if people don't watch it today, they might watch this 6 months from now and be like, what? Like, why? How did I miss this? How did I miss them? You know what I'm saying? Like, even you saying that it's raw footage on a cell phone, that brings a certain aesthetic to the film. You know what I'm saying? So that's, hey man.
And then what I need to do after that is how we like. It's a whole story. It's crazy to how we got to, like me working with Gary and Perry. That's a storyline in itself. That I need somebody to do a documentary for me. On what I had to go through for us to get halfway through it. You know what I'm saying? To be done at this point. Like, this is the second one. So, it took some time, but you know what? It happened like it needed to. It happened like it needed to.
I'm ready to see it just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a great idea.
Thank you.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
The goal is to get it on Tubi. So, we want to put it on Tubi.
Okay, so y'all big time. How long would this full documentary be?
When I talked to Gary yesterday, because him and Perry viewed it, I think he said we were probably at 45 minutes. But the show that I was telling you about that we did, the Mike on Fire Festival,
right?
That's going to be the finale. So you're going to see other artists in the city on that. So you will see Endless LA performing. You will see Rio Chapo performing. You'll see my artists. You will see the Mad Dolls. You'll see T. Yandula. You'll see all the artists that came. We're going to try our best to put a snippet of them as the finale of the documentary.
Now, going forward, right, is this something that you're going to start doing, just picking different artists and doing documentaries about them? Or
So we are, we have talked about, after we get through with this, working with other artists that want a documentary done. We'll sit down and work out a payment plan because, of course, for us to come with our cameras, Gary camera,
come on now,
and then Perry directing, and then I come and do my part of it. We want something where it's gonna be affordable, but it's got to make financial sense.
Come on now,
But it's called the Crown Me series, so we want to definitely work with other artists, and showcase their story because my artist is one thing, but I get with another artist, their story completely different. So we think it'll be dope to have that like a series.
So something like this, right? So explain to the people, how long does it take to shoot a documentary, and how long did it take to shoot this documentary?
Ooh, so
And how much footage you think you got? But I might be jumping a lot of questions, but let's work with them too first. How long does it take you to shoot this one, and how long does it normally take to shoot a documentary?
Okay, so yeah, this is it's complicated. My story is complicated with that because, all right, so I started working on this like last year, possibly 2021, in the beginning of 2022, right? Okay. Then something happened, right? Me and that person didn't work out, so I had to start over with a new production team.
Right.
Now with the new production team, it's taking us months to do it. I feel like we may have started like in March or April, maybe, and we're just now getting ready to finish it up. With the other person, it was probably we were almost a year in it. We were a year in it.
Right.
Because it takes time, compiling stuff. I'm seeing that now more with working with Gary. But I would tell anybody 6 months to a year, because you want to be able to capture. So if you and I started next week, I would say 6 months from now, I should be able to start putting that together.
Right.
And start working on it as we go. Because if we start just uploading all that footage, I'm not going to know where to go back at, So
Right.
for me, I would like to work as I go. And then as far as like, I would come and just spend a day with you. Because let me see what your day looks like.
Right.
What's your Saturday look like? What are you doing? Like when you interviewing people, we would come out and record you doing this. Because this is a part of who you are as an artist.
Come on now.
So it's different ways that we could come at it. We can attack it. With my artists, because I started working with them in 2020, I was able just to pull my cell phone footage and we just popping it in there. So like they might have a flashback. They're like, yeah, I remember that night I performed at such and such. I'm able to go back and get that, and you will see that pop up.
Right. That's major.
Yeah.
That's major. So it literally took you like 3 years to do this then. You got 3 years of footage, but
Yeah.
probably a couple months in film time, but
Right.
you started about 3 years ago.
Now that if Gary and Perry if we want to move forward, like keep doing it with other people, it might not take us as long, because this was our first time working together.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I think if we run it back again with somebody else, it may be quicker. It may not be as much. We might not need 6 months.
Right. Dang, man.
Because you might already have footage. You probably got old footage already.
Yeah.
That we can use. We can compile that in there. So yeah.
I got a lot of footage, man. Come on,
You got a lot of footage.
I got a lot of footage.
I know you do.
Can't even manage it at this point. Like, what can the people expect? Like, you know what I'm saying, in the documentary? What are some trials and tribulations? You don't have to like give away the sauce, like as far as like what's to come, but like, what was one of the tough parts in shooting this documentary? Like, what was one of the toughest things?
The toughest part is getting all them together. I still don't think. I'm almost sure we do not have a shot or a scene in the new one,
right,
where all of them together, and I mean all three of my artists with the DJ. We still don't have that.
Dang.
We still do not have that.
What was the pressure in that?
There.
Like why you think they never made it to the same room?
Because they might have something going on. Like, if I say we're gonna meet here or whatever, or let's go down here and meet, if one of them can't come, they just can't come.
Right.
But we don't stop the whole meeting, And then like when we just did the thing Friday for the Mike on Fire Festival, all the artists were there, but Ro wasn't there.
Right.
Because he had to work. So that has been the number one challenge, is getting everybody together in one spot.
Man. Hey, man, we already done said it. It's hard to get people in the same building.
Yes.
Even if you know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it could be a free building. Still can't get them in there. Like,
that has been, I feel like, the most challenging part, is getting all of them together at one time.
What was a bright spot within shooting this documentary for you?
A bright spot?
Yeah. Like, it was a moment, like, okay, this is a great moment right here.
It was a few. Like I really loved the first day that we filmed with each other because that was Gary and Perry and myself. That was our first time working together. Like we had talked about it and we just was kind of freehanding it.
Right.
And we met at Hitman Studios. Adrian was there, 4MFNE, and then Chris was there, MK23. Q wasn't there that day. But it was good because Adrian did a freestyle. Chris did some stuff in the booth. He played 1 or 2 new songs for us. So you just seen them kind of vibing.
The process.
Right. That was a high moment for me because I think that was more authentic.
Okay.
You know, just actually seeing them together.
Man.
Seeing them in the studios. You kind of just see them working on something. I feel like that was a high moment. I think, I haven't seen the footage from the Mike on Fire Festival, but I think that's going to be fire.
When can the people expect this documentary, you know?
Yep, so September 1st, we were selected to be screened by the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. That's going to be here at Macon at the Douglas Theater.
Okay.
That Labor Day weekend. So they'll get here Thursday. Our screening day is Friday.
Right.
So they have a panel of people that's going to screen it or whoever comes for the filming. They're going to look at it, and I'm hoping they give us feedback for it. So anybody that wants to attend, September 1st, the Douglas Theater, our filming time is 1:30, and I think the tickets are only $17.
When you say screen it, right, what does that mean?
That means that they're going to view it. They're going to put it on the screen, the big screen in the Douglas, and they're going to view it.
Now, are they reviewing it or they just viewing it?
That's gonna really be their first time seeing it because they selected it based off like a snippet, you know. So I don't want to say it's gonna be their first time. I take that back because I'm sure they're gonna look at it again prior to the first.
Right.
But now you will have everybody that comes because it's open to the public.
Right.
So anybody that comes that day will be able to view it as well.
Okay. Okay. I would be in attendance if God willing, you know what I'm saying? I would be in attendance.
I'll send you the link because it's a theater festival, so it's pretty much about like stage plays and stuff like that. However, they opened up for a couple of like films, documentaries, and we were selected.
Yeah. Because it's a great idea. Like I can't even express this enough. Like this could be a massive thing for any artist in the city, you know what I'm saying, or any business owner, you know, because we got a lot of those. Because
that's what I want to look into too. Yeah,
you can tap into anything right now. So that's a great idea, man. That hey, you know, say you just spoke volumes, right? As far as anything else, the people should be expecting from Miss Tiffany in the future.
I feel like that's the biggest project because we put so much time into it with getting that off the ground. I have some other possible ventures coming up. I just can't say for sure. Okay. But I do have some aspirations of, I've been writing a movie. So I'm going to claim that now.
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel like we'll talk off camera.
Okay. But I've been writing a movie. I feel good about what I've written so far. And so I've set some deadline dates to actually do like an audition for roles.
Okay.
You're going to have to come and do a reading.
I will. I'm in the building. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing.
I got a part for you.
It ain't nothing. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Might let you be Breeze.
Come on. The coolest guy on the camp, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, so movies in the future, you know what I'm saying? She got a lot of big things coming, guys. Like, if y'all not tapped in, y'all need to tap in. Because just the documentary idea is amazing. Then she got movie ideas. We talking about gold here. So, we got to support our black businesses out here, man. Like, this is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of tucked back and I'm like, man, okay, this is great. This is great for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
My last segment that I do is your commercial, right? For the people who don't know you, the people that want to know you, anything you got coming up, who you is, man. This your commercial. Talk to them.
All right. So everyone, please follow me on Facebook. It's my first name Tiffany and my last name Tillman. You can follow me on Instagram, TIP underscore the letter D underscore Titan, TITAN, Tip the Titan. We have a Platinum Crown Management Facebook page, and then we have a Platinum Crown Management Instagram page. Also, you can follow us. Will follow me on Jacole's Life Coaching and Resource Center. That's for my personal business. And I guess what I want people to know about me is I enjoy entrepreneurship, so I keep my hands in a lot of different pots, but I'm not a jack of all trades. So I have, just a couple of things that I truly enjoy working on, and I stick to those things. So follow me on social media, and you'll learn more about me. You'll learn more about my artists, and you'll learn more about our documentary that we're working on, and hopefully this movie. If I can just, I'm hoping that people, because it's once again I like it when I wrote it, but I hope it's not. I don't think it's gonna be lame.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's coming. All right, so, and that's what we outside with. Gone.